left off on a mushroom, which is the name of this stream, mushroom modeling. I think, let's make our dude run around in here. Let's check out the scale of these things. This camera really needs some work, but a deal for now. Yeah, I think this is good. Just too much space at the moment. Also, this guy. Just real quick, edit him. No, not scale. So should I make one mushroom model and then make a prefab of all of them? That would simplify the amount of textures I need. But then updating it would be a pain. Or I take this model, make a few versions of it, but if I UV wrap this first, then they all overlap and they share that data. Okay, I want to do that. So last time I UV unwrapped all these guys, I did it like this. I think there. Right there. Just control E. So this is pretty much the most important factor, is making sure we want it to be this solid blue. But the trade-off is that the more attached they are, yeah, see, I want the image I put to be not stretched at all, and to not mess up at the seams. So if it's attached, then oh, 1 second, hearing myself is confusing myself. So it'll stretch here, but at the same time there won't be any mismatch in terms of seams. So like the problem with like making these two separate pieces is that, so if these seams are, this is the bottom of the mushroom and this is the top of the mushroom, but right here, you know, like if I drew a line right here, it might not line up perfectly on both of those. And I'll pop back to my, oops, to my 3D model to show you what I mean. So like, the program I use, Substance Designer, you can like paint on it directly on the model. So I could, if I drew a line here and onto here, the hope is that it'll line up perfectly, but now that since there's a cut here, or this is the cut here, where this, actually 1 second, themes, 3D view, edge seam, I prefer really saturated blue. And save. Yeah, there we go. It's easier for me to see that. Yeah, so if I draw a line here, because there's a seam, there's a chance that it'll mismatch. You know, it'll just be like very slightly off. So if this is the line, it could be like this, which is unfortunate, but it's just how it goes. Honestly, I could have probably left this whole piece, including this like stem, as one. Why don't we try that and see what that looks like? So Control E, clear seam, A, U. Yeah, because like that doesn't really change that much. It's a little more efficient. Could leave this on there too. Sure. Oops. I really need to get 2 monitors. So you unwrap. Yeah, there's no distortion there. Alright, cool. That's what I'm going to go with. Now what you want to do is you want to move. So this is the top. That's what people are going to be looking at the most. So I want it to take up, to be a bit bigger, because that way I can add more detail. But the key being that you want to be able to fit everything into this square. Maybe just a little bit there. Just a tad. And like, you don't want it too close. In fact, this is probably a little too close. Can add some more space there. Well, I think that's good. Alright, so now this mushroom is ready to be copy pasted. So now that I UV mapped it, if I duplicate this, then all the UV maps will overlap. And that way, if I paint it, all of these other mushrooms, so like this mushroom will map to the same spot. In fact, I think I could just show you that. Oh no, I have to assign a material. Okay, let's do it later. So now what I want to do is I want to add some solar mushrooms. Basically, I want to make sure in this instance that it never goes past this axis. I'm just choosing that arbitrarily, but so if I put it against a surface, there will never be any mushrooms just floating in space, hopefully. So, in fact, most of them, the ideal would be like using this as a center point and then curving away from that, so they'll fit onto any surface. If I need to add more, I'll just make more of these models. Let's do a thinner version. A little bit smaller. That looks good. Too exact though. see, in case you were wondering. See, turn it. That looks okay. Let's scale it down a little bit. And make it bigger. Put it right here-ish. Okay. Let's go back to our reference. We want to double check that, it's got that vibe. I'd say it's not quite as irregular on the edges right here as, we would have liked, but we are working with a limited amount of vertices, so that is a problem and limits what we can do, but that's okay. So let's copy these over and then rotate them 180 degrees and rotate them a bit more. Lift. Then lift them up, over, a little more up. I think it's okay if they overlap like just a little bit. And then basically we want to fill this like center point with more of these guys. Just to add a bit more variety. So this is definitely one of the more expensive models in terms of vertices. Almost hitting 1,000 for a relatively small piece. So I'm going to start pulling them back a little bit again to match that curve I mentioned. It's imaginary, there's no specific curve we're trying to match, just that so if we're going to reference a piece in the game, I can just show you. So here's our mushroom wall. I'm going to bring it in. I'm going to drop it right there. Zoom in. So the idea is that I have to fix all of shit. Okay. Gonna be one mesh anyway. Perfect. They're all gonna be one mesh. Tab AA. Flip direction of those normals. Always forget. Oh, come on, really? That wasn't a problem a while ago. So, Unity and Blender have different axes that they use. So, Z in Blender means up, where Y in Blender means up, which means that if you don't make any alterations, sometimes they come in flipped 90 degrees. And basically, you want to change it in Blender so that in here, when you go to your transform options, this rotation is zeroed out because, once you're actually working with it in game, in the game, you don't really want any extra information that might confuse yourself. Alright, so this is kind of what we're going for. Yeah, some mushrooms growing, doing the mushroom stuff. Mushrooms don't really do much else than grow. But yeah, that's kind of the effect we're going for. The normals look good. I think it looks pretty good. So yeah, now if I bring it into Substance, I should be able to cool. I want to share this with Ben really quick. I should do it on my laptop. Let's see what he says. Ben is a person who's done most of the work in this project so far. He's responsible for the programming, and I'm mostly responsible for the art, though he has done most of the demo so far. Okay, I need to turn Skype view, no. guess. No. Tools. Options. Audio settings. Ringing. Notifications. That's fine. Just don't want to do that. Okay. Select which event plays a sound. Sounds. Oh, this should be able to be going for a second. No, that's gonna bug the shit because I want to be able to type. Lame Footscape. Oh, I see. Let's see if it works. As well, if anyone is watching this stream, send me a message. I'll link the video of our progress in the game so far. Probably be a good idea. Okay, so where's the player in here? Scene. Golem. I'm gonna move you here. What happens if I hit play now? It's looking good. Better, for sure. Cool. Send us chapter inside. Huh. Floating golem. Why is E rotate? Or not R. Life is full of mystery and wonder. Okay, so now I want to So, my thought process. I have all of these mushrooms. Painting this will be hard to see everything. So I'm going to make another version. Mushroom wall O2. Because I'm very original when it comes to naming. And then I'm going to select everything but this main mushroom and delete it. And that's because huge pain to paint otherwise. Should have known this beforehand, but that is okay. Okay. So now, such a pain at which Substance Painter supported this, but basically I have to export an FBX file, which then I bring into Substance to paint. So file, export, FBX. This is in the models folder. Models, perfect. And then FBX exports. And then, yeah, just save that there. Cool. Close. Minimize. Why is this lagging? Okay. New. Probably play some Overwatch later too. Okay. Yes. Finish. Close. File. New. Select. I always forget where I say this shit. I think it's in here. Nope. Nope. There's an here. Yeah. Must have two. Named the exact same. Dumb. Okay, so this is my mushroom. We'll make some textures, so bake that stuff onto it. So now let's do some painting. I want a missive channel. My cat is whining downstairs. Like textures. I just want a backup of all of this. This is mushroom wall 01. Texture. So I want to be specific. This is the first iteration of this texture. No, it's just, okay. Sure. Okay, so I have a missive in my channels. I basically want this mushroom to be pretty bright and blue. Yeah, something like that. And I think let's go take a look at our reference again. It's got these like ridges there. It's fine. Nothing on the top for the most part, but it needs some ridges. So what I'm gonna do is make a folder. This is gonna be all my height information because I think it makes more sense to have that on its own layer. And let's make a mask, black mask. This fill layer should only have height, info, and we're gonna mask it in. Now, I'm painting on this mask, and I want decent. It's not quite what I'm going for, but it's good to start with. I basically want like lines like that. Does this make it bigger? Yeah. And spacing's gonna be huge. So it's gonna be big. And no angle jitter, no position jitter, and no size jitter. Yes, like that. It's okay, not the best, but you know, gets the job done. Alright, cool. So there's some height information. And you know what? Maybe like a little tiny bit of roughness on top of that. Okay. Yeah. Alright. So let's go here. Roughness, you are way too shiny. So let's bring that down. Something like that. Cool. Now we do want an emissive layer and inch blue, light blue, just like the other one, something like that. Cool. And maybe a little bit darker. So if I put you in this folder. Interesting. I quite like that effect actually. Let's make another folder. Drop you in there. That's the wrong thing. This. And now I want add white mask. I'm just gonna paint out this a little bit. Cool. And just the base for the most part. Maybe a little on top. And fill layer, put that above, close, drop it below. Now I should be able to change the color. Yeah, okay. So I'm thinking look at dark blue. Yeah. Alright, looks good to me. This is bad. Just get rid of all that. Make it darker. And flow 100%. Just go away. Okay, so size, angle, position. Cool. Why are there smudges here? Where's that coming from? Maybe it's this one. Yeah, it is. Okay. Excuse me, let's double check our reference. Yeah, so it's probably a little too severe here, but I think it looks good for the most part. and I'm going to leave it because I can. Now I may actually add a bit more here. What am I doing? It's because this fill layer is just black. I don't want it to be that dark. Let's see, something like yeah. No, just don't want it to glow. That's all. Okay, flow, something like that. And it's too dark. Okay, so cool. Let's Control E. So now we're going to export everything we just made as JPEGs, 8 bits. And it really doesn't need to be that big. And yeah, Unity for real. Documents. Okay, so yes, select that.